back to Star's channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make an origami flexagon, also known as a hexaflexagon. And this is a really cool and easy to make stress reliever, and it's also a fidget toy, and I really like it, and I'm kind of addicted to it because I have to play with it every single day. And the best thing is you only need one piece of paper. So without any further ado, let's get started. Whoa, wait, before we get started, we're going to do a like, subscribe and notification bell challenge. You have to press all those buttons with your left pinky in 5 seconds. Are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Did you do it? If you did, give yourself a pat on the back. Now, let's actually get started. Things you'll need are an A4 piece of paper. This is optional, but you can use a ruler to make sure your lines are straight. A pen or a pencil. This is completely optional, but I find that this helps me and it makes things a lot easier, so I definitely recommend it. Last thing you need is scissors. Be careful with scissors, scissors are sharp, and make sure not to skip this video, because if you do, then you miss out lots of tips and tricks, and if you miss out even a little step, your flexagon will not come out good. So make sure not to skip this video and watch this all the way through. The first thing you do is we're going to fold this in half. And you have to make sure this is precisely folded in half, or else it won't work. This is actually the easy way of making it. There are different ways, but they're a lot harder. So I just wanted to share the easy way with you. So now we folded this in half, we're going to actually press it down really hard. And there are lots of ways of doing this. So one is to get down with your nail. I actually don't have nails, but you can just do your finger, and you're just going to press this as hard as you can. And you have to do this for every single one, or else your creases, because there's going to be lots, they will actually show up. The other thing is, if you've got like a paper cutter, some of them have this folding option and they're really good, so I recommend you use that if you have one. And then you can also use a ruler. This is a bit weird, but I just recommend going down like this, and that should fold this really well as well. Next up, we're going to open it, and you should see a really deep crease there. We're going to bring one corner. This can be any corner from your 4 sides. And then we're just going to put it up. Make sure to line it up with this perfectly. And then we're going to fold it here. And then we're going to turn it around and basically do the same step, but just on the other side. And they have to be opposite. Even if you mess up a tiny little thing, I can tell you that this is not going to work. So I recommend watching really well. And if you find this hard to keep up with, then I recommend you pause the video and then catch up. Then we're going to fold it about here, and then we're going to cut this out, because this is just like the excess pieces and we don't really need them at all. We're going to open it again, but this time we're going to put it this way, and then we're just going to fold it in half. And then we're going to open it up again, and then we're going to fold one side of it into half again. So we're basically just going to fold this into quarters. Make sure that the 2 pieces of paper here don't actually overlap, because if they do, then your flexagon won't actually work. Now we're just going to split this into 8 equal parts. So what I did to divide it into 8 even parts is just fold this in half. And this should actually be already in half, because there should be a line going down here. And then we're going to take one side, I'm going to fold it again in like this. And then crease it. And then we're going to repeat on this other side. And then we're going to fold each of these sections into half. And how I recommend doing that is just taking the end bits one by one and then just folding it inwards. Repeat on the other side. If you're struggling to see the points or just the lines that you folded, then I recommend just going over, folding it again, because if you can't see it now, then you probably can't see it later. And then now we're going to split these 2, and how I do that is we're just going to fold it like this, and then we're going to fold it again, but don't actually push it down. And then make sure to line it up, so this and this line in the middle we're going to line up like this, and then you push it down. So I recommend going over these two lines again because we've just did them. And we're going to repeat this on the other side. This can be a little bit tricky, but this is an essential step, so make sure not to miss even the little of these steps. Now we're going to fold these 2 points again. Now that we've done them, I recommend going over in pen on these lines over here, but if you can see them clear enough, then you don't have to, but I find that this step really helps me, and that's why I said take a ruler, because you'll need it. And don't draw the lines on this side, do it on the back, because I find that's a really big mistake loads of people make. So that's just like a little tip. Don't be worried that you can see these lines, because you can't once you've made your actual flexagon, and once you play with it. Then you see this line in the middle, we're going to just go over that. Then we're going to draw lines going down here, and these are going to be the folds we're going to do. So we're going to take up 2 squares, one here and one down, and we're going to just draw a line from the top square to the bottom square, just like this. And then we're going to do the same to the one on the opposite side. And we're going to do this for every single square. Then we're going to just do the same but on the opposite side, like this. So there should be like a cross on every 2 of the big boxes. Make sure the perfect or your flexagon will be like really hard to fold. And I've actually made a mistake in the past myself, so that's just a little tip for you. Using a ruler is completely optional, but I really recommend it because it gets your lines perfect. Then we're just going to fold all the lines, and one of the big mistakes people make is they fold it backwards, but it's actually meant to be upwards, so it should be like this kind of. And we're just going to fold every single one of these crosses. I like to start going by one direction first and then switching around. So I like to do it on the back side, even though you're not meant to do it on the back side. And then once you've actually got that crease, I like to change it forward. But you can just go on the front directly if you want. All these lines can get a bit confusing. So if you want, then I recommend drawing one line and then doing it, and then drawing one line and doing it again. And don't worry, these won't show on the actual thing. You want to try and make it on the line as much as it possible to make it perfect. We've done all the creases now, and your paper should look a bit like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold it around like this. And you should kind of see everything coming into shape because all the creases are down, and it kind of looks like a flexagon just a bit. But don't worry if you don't quite see the shape yet. Then I'm just going to put one part of this into the other part, and they should have flaps like this. And if one of yours is smaller, and you can kind of see which one's smaller, and this one's actually smaller for me, so you would try and put it into the big one. And this can be a bit fiddly, so if you want, ask an adult to help. Once you did this, it should be in this kind of triangular shape because 2 of these should be in. And it should be like this, but don't worry if it's popping up a bit because that's usual. And it should automatically kind of mold into its shape because if the creases are good enough and it's been done properly, then 2 of them should go in, and the third one we're just going to make go in. So you should see these triangles here and here. And then we're just going to push this in. So if your creases aren't good enough, then I recommend just doing this. So you just push in the creases. You should be able to see them at least faintly though. And then we're going to do the same on the other side, and they should be already done on 2 sides. And the third side I'm just going to do now. And recommend closing it like this. and then that just helps it to set a little bit more better. And then it should kind of look like this, and it's beginning to take this flexagon shape. Then we're going to see these two creases, so you should be able to see this around here, and we're just going to fold this in. So it's basically the same as we did at the beginning, and do this at each side. And this is nearly done. We just got to repeat this on the other side, and this should kind of come together by itself because we've done it on the other side, but I still recommend pushing down the edges. And ta-da, here we have our finished flexagon. So a lot of you might say that it doesn't work at first, and I find that correct. You have to just fiddle with it a bit first. Sometimes it might feel a bit stuck like it is now. You just got to kind of push it, but don't push it too hard or you might break it. You can see it on both sides, and it's kind of loosened up a bit now. But the more you play with it, the more it loosens up. And I just think it looks so good, and it's just a really great stress reliever. If anything pops out like it is now, then I just recommend pushing it back in again, because that does happen sometimes. So like here, you just push it back into its place. Thanks for watching this video. My flexagon came out really well, and I hope you all did too. But if it didn't, then make sure to go over these steps again, because I can guarantee that this method works. And if you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and also turn on the post notification bell, because it will notify you every single time I post a new video. And I would really appreciate it if you shared this video with your friends and your family, and also if you watch another one of my videos, because it really helps to grow my channel. Bye!